Hello and welcome to the Brick Cave Media Podcast. My name is Sharon Skinner. I'm the author of Return to Honoria from Brick Cave Books. The Brick Cave Podcast is brought to you by the BC Book Club, Brick Cave Media's community portal for readers that love Brick Cave books and authors. You can join today and be part of the Brick Cave story at Brick Cave Media's new website, brickcave.media.
And my name is Bruce Davis. I'm the author of the forthcoming Silver Magic, hooray, hooray, from Brick Cave Books. And we're here tonight in the Brick Cave studio, located in the Brick Cave office, right here in beautiful downtown Mesa. So, how you doing, Sharon?
I'm good. I've been busy.
That's a good thing.
I'm looking forward to this year being over, though. How about you?
Yes and no. This has been a very mixed year for me. There's a number of good things. The bad stuff is what everybody knows about.
Right.
I have been in the middle of a lot of that bad stuff, and there's a real kind of sense of accomplishment in having gotten through it.
There is that, there's value in that too. It's, overcoming.
Overcoming, yes.
It's a journey, right?
And the fun is getting there.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. I don't know. I've had some really good. I've actually, in a lot of ways, had a good year. There are, again, it's mixed reviews. There have been some challenges, like everyone else. There have been some pretty big challenges this year, but I've also had a really good year with my book coaching. I've gotten to work with some really good clients this year, and I've seen some success on that front, which has been really rewarding.
Yeah, I've made some serious professional changes that have turned out to be quite good for me. Like I said, getting through some of these things gives you a sense of purpose and accomplishment that's hard to beat. My family's doing well and has made some real strides this year. So, overall, were it not for what has affected the rest of the world and making everyone miserable, this wouldn't have been a bad year. I have missed, up until just this last little go-round down in Tucson with Tuscon,
Right.
doing in-person events, because I enjoy those, and those are good for us as a team.
Yep.
And so it was nice to kind of get back into that a little bit at the end of the year.
Yeah, I did a library event, which was, I actually sold more books than I anticipated, because a lot of times at the library, people are there for free books, to borrow books, not to buy books. And so I actually sold more books there than I anticipated selling this year, which was nice. And I did another event this year. So I was at the Aviation Fascination. So I was there selling books. So, it was really weird for me, a little weird for me, because I have to push myself to go out into the world anyway.
Yes.
And so now, having been able to not kind of go out into the world, I had to push myself again. I am doing a workshop in January for another library, but it will be, it's been moved to virtual. So I'll be doing the one-page book summary workshop for Tempe Library on the 22nd of January. But again, that's going to be virtual.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what other events planned suddenly go away with.
Well, we're hoping for, Tucson Festival of Books.
I'm very much hoping for that.
I'm excited about that, and I'll have a day or two at the Ren Fair again this year, as long as that continues to move forward. So,
I think whatever you're feeling about people's attitudes, I think even reasonable people are getting kind of fed up with this. And not really seeing why, if it doesn't seem to make that much difference, we should shut everything down.
Yeah, but does it make a difference? I mean,
I'm really not convinced that it does at this point. I think, particularly with this new variant, things move so fast. For instance, all of the hospital, all of my colleagues are vaccinated and boosted.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 people out right now because they tested positive. They're completely asymptomatic. So would that be okay if you're wearing a mask at all times? Is that good or bad? If you have no symptoms and you test positive, is your vaccine doing its job and you're not getting sick? No one really knows the answers to those questions.
We don't really know yet. Yeah.
And now CDC is getting really fuzzy on the guidelines.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Yeah.
When they say, oh, if you're asymptomatic, you can quarantine for 5 days. But if your facility is in a critical shortage, you may be able to just wear a mask and not quarantine at all. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You either do this or you don't do this. And if you're willing to make that compromise, it really makes me wonder about the effectiveness of mass shutdowns.
Well, is it that, or are they just because, with the shortage of manpower, feeling like they have to make some risk?
But if the risk is acceptable, why is it unacceptable for vaccinated people to go to an event?
That's a good question. I guess probably to stop the spread, but
anyway,
it's a lot. It's a lot. So, hey, how about we do this? How about we do...
How about we talk about books instead?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do our last reading update of 2021.
Good. I read Under the Whispering Door.
Yes.
On your recommendation.
And?
I enjoyed it tremendously, but I liked Cerulean Sea better.
Okay. No, I get that.
I particularly was a little disappointed in the ending. It was a little Deus Ex Machina for me.
But
in a real sense.
Okay. Spoiler alert. But it didn't surprise me.
No, it didn't. And that's another reason I was a little disappointed in it.
Oh, okay.
It was so predictable and implausible. Based on the rules that he had set up in the entire book.
I thought it was lovely.
Oh, it's lovely, but it was I think it would have been a somewhat darker story, but it could have been done differently.
I don't know that he does darker.
It still would have been this lighthearted tone, but the ending would have been sadder, not darker necessarily.
Okay, there you go. More emotional.
I've also been reading, a lot of mysteries, so those are probably throwaways, but they're fun. There's a new series that I started that's kind of like the British police drama that you see on TV, like Morse and those guys. It's just fluff. And then my serious reading has gone to The New Art of War by Jeffrey Weiss, which purports, and I'm only probably a third of the way into it, to rewrite the theory of war for modern times. So you have the war theorists, Sun Tzu, Clausewitz, Thucydides. He dissects each of those, picks out pluses and flaws and places where they don't quite measure up to modern war, and purports, I'm not to that yet, to be able to combine these things in a new comprehensive theory of warfare.
Okay, well...
Not war fighting.
Okay.
But say there's a distinction between, say, Sun Tzu's Art of War, which is really not about war fighting.
Right.
It's about how to be a good general and strategize and what are the things that make it up. He touches on Machiavelli, goes through all of the classicists. So I'll be interested to see what his conclusions are.
Okay.
Kind of heavy reading, though.
It does not sound like something I would be all that interested in.
Oh, the other thing I read was Jeff Marriott's Blood and Gold.
Oh, how was it?
It's good. It's not, knock you dead good. But Jeff's a very, very good writer.
He is a solid writer.
And he does well with the characters. It departs a little bit, sometimes quite a bit, from what I know of the Joaquin Murrieta story.
Okay.
But he makes it his own, so he's allowed to do that.
Right.
But yeah, it's a good read.